Ladies and gentlemen, you know what Elon Musk is revealing is what I have been saying since, but most of you thought that the Western world want your freedom or are here to help you. Better think twice, because they benefit when you are in crisis. If they can destroy Ukraine, that have the same border with them, that have the same skin color with them, for their selfish interests, imagine what they would have done to Africa. Do you people read without understanding? During the COVID-19 pandemic, they closed their doors, closed their borders, hoping that all of you will die, so that they will come in and take over your resources. But God saved Africa. They created that. COVID-19 was man-made. They created it. Can you see how the globalists use their puppet son, Obama, and US aid to finance Boko Haram and destroy Jonathan's government? A government that was promising. The suffering Nigeria and Libya are facing today is as a result of the globalist agenda to destroy any country in Africa that is doing better, that is doing well. Telling you, oh, we are protecting human rights. Robbing Paul to pay Peter. Do you know, the funniest part of it was that they were financing Boko Haram. On the other hand, they were helping Nigerian government to fight the same terrorists they were financing. Now you know why terrorist organizations are very powerful. It means they will train the two groups, the Nigerian military and also the Boko Haram groups, and get paid at the same time. Then later pass the information to them, to the terrorists, on how to deal with the Nigerian government. That is why each time Nigerian government or military we are progressing in defeating Boko Haram, boom, Boko Haram will from nowhere change and become so powerful. Can you see why there is food crisis in Nigeria? Because the goal is to make sure you never grow, to make sure that you depend on them for food importation. Any country that cannot produce enough food to meet their needs is gone. If you cannot feed yourself and cannot produce arms to protect yourself, then you're dead. You're dead. Have you asked yourself, why always Africa? Now let me tell you why. Because your politicians are lazy. They have this lazy mindset of handout. Because of your lack of foreign policy towards other nations, Africans don't have foreign policy. Because of your stupidity to believe that anything from the West is the best. Because of your stupidity of wanting approval from the West. Whatever you want to do, if the West did not approve it, you don't believe it's the right thing. You know, before the US aid revelation, I have written a letter to the US government demanding $54 trillion from them as a repayment of the 400 years of slavery and forced labor by their grandfathers to our ancestors. Have you asked yourself, how was it possible for their ancestors to conquer our ancestors? The same thing our ancestors did is the same thing you are doing today. Unity with one voice is the solution. Imagine a whole 54 countries of Africa. A whole 54 countries in Africa are so stupid to be manipulated by 30 countries of the Western world. Because you are feeling inferior to yourself. You believe that you need help from the West, while in reality, the help the West need help from you. Africa is supposed to be in control, supposed to be controlling the Western world because we have the resources, we have everything. They survive on our misery. They need us more than we need the West. They came as a union to the table, while you came as an individual or a divided union to the table. So why will they take you serious? They gave you money and brainwashed you to keep that money in their country for safety, which means they did not give you any money. Rather, they just opened an account with your name to get things done for you. When you need that money, that's when you will know that they have been using you. You think Africa is corrupt? The problem is that African leaders are not smart, corrupt politicians. The Western countries use propaganda to push their lies until you believe it is true. The Western politicians are smart, corrupt politicians. They see from outside the world to develop their own country. Why you stole from your country to develop their own country? That is the difference between African corrupt politicians and the Western corrupt politicians. In the West, it is called lobbyists, while in Africa, it is called corruption. And you have accepted that lobbyism are not bribery. In fact, you must be stupid by believing that lobbyism is not corruption, it's not bribery, it's bribery. You need to learn how to call your own. You need to learn how to call your own lobbying, corruption as lobbying, your own bribery. You need to learn how to call it lobbying, not bribery. Thank you for your time.